Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well and loving the summer so far. It's been a while since I came and talked to you all. It's been a really interesting, crazy few months, all good, all going really well. But I wanted to share some reflections from a conversation I was having with my client group last week. And I know that the people who've joined some of the masterclasses and the boot camp would find this really interesting because we've talked about it together before. And the session was around the law of attraction, but not in the way that most people think of it. And that was the conversation we were having. So I think generally, if you ask most people what the law of attraction is, they would say, it's about focusing on something you want, thinking about it all of the time, and believing it will happen. And that is it in a nutshell, but there's so much more depth to it. And when you really understand what goes into it and the processes involved in the law of attraction, which is not really the law of attraction, that's the secondary law. The real primary law is the law of vibration. And we were talking about this last week, and effectively, I wanted to kind of summarize some of that for you. So, if you've worked with me before and you ideally will then have something that you want in your future, it'll be a goal or something you're maybe hoping, believing, planning that will manifest itself in your world. So you might have business goals, you might have professional goals, and you might be visualizing them. You might be thinking about those regularly and taking your mind to the place where that is real. And I've shared with you the idea of having affirmations that you talk to yourself, you mantras that you repeat daily, you write down daily, to help all in the attempt to help you take your mind to the place of your goal. But the thing that's usually missing is the emotion. See, I think the misconception is I think about it, I focus on it, I visualize it, and it will happen. What happens? We don't attract what we wish for, we attract who we become. So we have to feel it. We have to feel like the person who already has that goal. So let me try and explain what I mean by that. So I've always wanted to be an author. And I decided that I would make that a goal. It was in the back of my mind, and then I thought, no, make this a goal, because if not, it won't happen anyway. So it starts with the goal. The intellectual mind says, I want to be an author. But I always want to take myself to the place of my goal as if it's here now. Why do I do that? Because if I'm thinking from now and I'm thinking of the goal, that is me in my current reality, with my current way of thinking, my current way of feeling, which is not like an author. So you start to see the disconnect. But if I take myself to the place of my goal, meaning I imagine, not only am I thinking I'm an author, I'm visualizing the book. I was going to get the book. I'm visualizing the cover of the book. I'm imagining going to a book signing. Yes, I'm doing all of those things, but it's not the visualization of it that is what creates the manifestation in your life. It is the feeling of it. And you know the difference from kind of hoping and wishing to actually I feel like an author already. And how that would look different for me would be I'm visualizing it and thinking about it so often that I also then assume the feeling of it. So it's not just a theory or an idea in my imagination. My body thinks it's real. And there's a quote a sentence that I always use from The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. And I'll just read the chapter and then I'll come back to the sentence. And he says, all transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. The first step in renewing of the mind is desire. You must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. You do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. By desiring to be other than what you are, you can create an ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you are already that person. If this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. The ideal you hope to achieve is always ready for an incarnation, but unless you yourself offer it human parentage, it's incapable of birth. Therefore, your attitude should be one in which, having desire to express a higher state, you alone accept the task of incarnating this new and greater value of yourself. So there's so much in that. I'm going to go back to the top and just kind of take from that what I take from it. So all transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. So take that as, if you want to achieve a goal and it's something you've never done before, then the word transformation here means you have to change if you want to achieve something different. So you have to internally change. You can't stay the same and achieve something dramatically different or new or bigger or better in your life. So the first step in the renewing of the mind is desire. Now, we've talked about this many times. You have to really have passion for the goal, desire, burning desire. That's the stuff that moves mountains. You must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. So it starts with a desire for the goal, and that's how I've always created anything. Now that I know these processes, is I decide what I want, I create my goal, and then I think, okay, how must I change? Where must I develop myself? Who must I become to have that goal? So I couldn't sit here with the mindset of somebody who might one day decide to write a book and be an author and think that was going to happen. I had to sit here with a mindset of, I'm a published author, I know what that feels like, and make that real in the present tense. And the minute you do that, you can manifest and very, very quickly, because you move your mind and your body to the place of your goal in your mind and imagination first, and then it comes in the material world. You must make your future dream a present fact. So your future dream starts in your imagination, but law of attraction, most people think it's, I just imagine it and it happens. When Neville Goddard is saying we must make it a present fact, what he's saying is, make it real, not just in your mind, make it real in your body, make it real in your emotions. So the question I was asking my clients is, are you behaving like the person who already has this thing? So am I behaving like a published author in my mind, like in the small day-to-day conversations I have with myself, the way I move through each day? Am I thinking the way I would be thinking if I was a published author? This is my favourite sentence, you do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. See, that's the killer sentence for me that I always quote. You assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. It's not a hope or a wish, or I'll just visualise it. If I'm visualising it and saying, I'll one day be an author, I'll affirm it every day, there's no emotion. You're not feeling it. It's not even real. Your body doesn't believe it. Your mind doesn't believe it. Your whole brain and nervous system needs to go to the place of your goal. Think about who that person is, and then make decisions from that place. Think from that place. See, most of us, we say, I'm here and I want to go there, and I'm going to think to that place. And can you see the disconnect? Can you see how that's harder? That's loads harder when it comes to actually moving towards your goal. If you can move towards it internally, emotionally, and feel and believe like it's already here now, then it's going to show, because you're going to start to behave like the person you need to behave like to have the thing that you're seeking. I hope this is making sense. I'm going to put some of these short kind of clips out over the coming weeks and months, just to share insights and snippets, and hopefully little bits of it resonate and you all can take something from it and maybe have a conversation about it in the group and ask questions, and have a good rest of the day. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.